Welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Beaters, and if you're new to the channel, I am Old Head Gaming, and I know we've been dropping a bunch of content. This is the third full-length video that I'm dropping, and we've been talking about what we was referred to based on the tweet as the father of all updates, which has been corrected based on a couple of articles I've read today as actually is the Who's Your Daddy update.
Now we're going to do something extremely fun. We're going to play a wonderful game called Who is My Daddy and What Does He Do?
And that brings me to the question, who is your daddy and what does he do? And his daddy is Brock Williams. And that's what we're going to talk about, Brock Williams' leader aura. Because I think Brock's leader aura has just opened the door to shadow confirm a warrior version of Brandy Bar Williams. Let's take a quick look at what Brock can do. So our new survivor, Brock Williams, Ash's old man himself, Brock is immune to knockbacks and has several auras he can unleash to help his squad mates. These auras change dynamically based on how many Williams family members are on the team. And this is one of the things I think is very interesting because it says Williams members. Obviously, it's going to include himself and all the Ashes, but it also means that Brandy, as the granddaughter, should also inherit these as well. Now, here's the thing. We've all been wondering when or possibly if we will see Brandy Bar, and apparently they're leaning very heavy in Season 2 into Ash vs. Evil Dead. And it makes complete sense that Brandy Bar would come. Now, here's the thing. Why I think Brandy's going to be a warrior. Because first of all, if you saw the series, they've been trying to keep up with everyone what they should be. And I feel like they've done a really good job of that. We all knew that when Ruby finally dropped, she would be a leader. I've been saying since the dawn of time when Brock finally dropped, he would be a leader. We know when Chet finally drops, he'll be a support. They've done a really good job trying to stick characters to where they belong. Especially from Ash vs. Evil Dead, you know, Man and Kelly are both hunters, Pablo is a support, Hefe is a leader, and like it makes complete sense. And it just makes as much sense that Brandy would also be a warrior. And here's why. She couldn't shoot shit. Like when she had the gun, it was just like, and she just ran away. Like it didn't work. It wasn't a good look. It made no sense. Now, when she got that Kandarian dagger in her hand, she went Choppy McGee without a doubt and was able to do some serious freaking damage, which makes me believe she'd be very Mia-like in that fashion. And let's be honest, it's not bad to have another female warrior. And of course, if you're going to have the dad in 4 different versions, you're going to have the grandfather now as a leader. It makes complete sense that we should see sometime, maybe by the end of the summer, Brandy Bar Williams joining as well. Now, the reason I say Bar Williams is because she's technically Brandy Bar, but by the end of it, she's kind of going by Brandy Williams. And, you know, depending on what name you know her as, I feel like it's the easiest way to explain it. And I also think Brandy is a character that is definitely one that's popularity has really grown after the conclusion of the series as people got on to Ash vs. Evil Dead as it closed. Because when you look at like a lot of the fan votes, she didn't even finish in the top 10 when the show was actually live. And you know who was tremendously popular? Dalton, who we haven't really heard a single bit of anyone actually now asking for. It's like Dalton and Brandy have kind of flipped, where Dalton was really popular in Season 3, even though he had very little screen time. And I think it was just kind of, he was just man candy, and people really enjoyed his dynamic with Kelly. And he has the noble sacrifice. But then Brandy has really, really shot up since the actual end of Ash vs. the Evil Dead. And I think if we do get this movie, I think I would love to see what Brandy has done in the interim, leading probably the Ghost Beaters, and I think we'd like to see what she's doing now. And I think it'd be really cool if Brandy was like a future Brandy in the actual game with like the future Wasteland map. Like that would be my dream come true chapter. You get like future Brandy, future skins for Kelly and Pablo, you get Lex, like Wasteland, like, oh my god, it would be like my Sam Raimi wet dream, like everything finally coming together, battling on the future Wasteland. I've kind of digressed in this video a little bit because I'm just so excited about the thought of Brandy Williams joining. And I think she is a character that I've seen a lot in my chat lately, people talking about. I've had a lot of people talk about in my videos. I did a video on her ages ago. Like, it was funny because I did like videos on her, Dalton, and Brock, like back to back to back days. Because back then, before the game launched, I was talking about all the characters who could possibly come to Evil Dead the game. And slowly but surely, they're getting whittled in. And I think we're getting to the point where we need to think that this pretty much opens a massive, massive door for Brandy Williams. I think she'll come in as Brandy Williams. I don't think they'll use the bar name. And I think it'll be very indicative of the fact that of the phrasing, the choice of words, because they could have just, Brock's obviously going to get his own aura, but they could have said Ashes, and they chose not to say Ashes. They chose to say Williams. And I think that word choice, even though you can say, yeah, well, Brock's a Williams too, I think it's very indicative of what they have up their sleeve. And I think we're probably going to see Brandy by year's end sooner rather than later. Now, tell me what you think. Do you think I'm barking up the wrong tree? Do you think I'm just reading too much into this? Or do you think they inadvertently shadow confirm Brandy Williams? I sure do. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and later, mates.